Monk set cable ratings records, everyone's favorite obsessive-compulsive detective made a welcome return in the Peacock original movie, Mr. Monk's Last Case. There would be no Blue Skies TV or shows like Psych or Suits without Monk, and there would be no Monk without these two men. Please welcome series creator and the movie's writer, executive producer, Andy BRECKMAN, and star executive producer, four-time Emmy winner, SHALHOUB.
Hi.
It feels like we've been talking about a Monk movie since the morning after the finale in 2009.
It's all we ever talked about.
How many pitches and scripts did you go through over the years before we got this incarnation made?
When Monk ended, I was, it's hard when a series ends. You still have the momentum. I had the adrenaline still pumping, and I had.
You were hospitalized, weren't you?
I was, yeah, exactly. It's I don't wish it on anyone, but it is kind of emotional when an 8-year journey like we had end, even though we knew it was ending, and we could do a finale on our own terms. Would you agree, Tony, that it was tough, at least for me?
Yeah, it was bittersweet because we really felt we were very proud of the way we wrapped up the show. The series finale was, well received, and ratings were great. It was a 2-part finale. We felt really good about how the writers wrapped it up, and going out on a high note. But knowing that we were going to miss each other and miss visiting those characters.
I could not stop making notes and coming up with ideas for Monk, even though I had been retired, even though I hung my cleats up. So I did have ideas for movies, and I was talking to USA about and NBC about them, but nothing quite worked out timing-wise. Tony has a life and a career, and we all sort of moved on.
One out of two.
Yeah, a life or a career. That's pretty much how it works in our business. And it took a while. And the pandemic actually nudged things along for us.
I was going to ask about that, the Monk in Quarantine, that short, which we've always known that Monk is lovable, but now he became relatable, and it became viral. You reunited with the rest of the cast. Was this the push that finally got the movie made?
I think it was a big push. We did a 4-minute film during the lockdown. Tony and his wife did it alone in their apartment. They were quarantined, and we had the rest of the cast on Zoom.
There's one line, so I'll test you, Tony. There's one line, one of the most popular lines in the movie, where Monk is asked how it is to be working again, and he says,
"Oh, it's like riding a bike."
And then what he says?
The Dr. Bell says, "Oh, that's terrific," and Monk says, "No, I mean it's terrifying."
Good. So now going back into character as Monk. Was it like riding a bicycle, and was it terrifying?
Well, it wasn't terrifying. I mean, the initial notion of it was a bit daunting, but then Andy just came up with this great script, and we had all the positive energy from the people at Peacock, and we had everybody, the cast, the original, series regulars. Everybody was excited to revisit, and we went into the casting process and found what we felt were the perfect group of guest cast. And so by the time we actually, got to shooting on the first day, we were revved up, and didn't take long to fall right back into it.
Okay, we'll see how that happened. Now we'll watch the scene that introduces monk in present day.
Oh, boy.
We do not have swivel chairs, we only have 15 minutes for this canvas. But
The woman playing Monk's nemesis slash publisher is the lovely Brooke Adams, who is also Tony's wife.
so,
The tension between them, that was not.
No acting involved. Being reprimanded.
She passed that audition, yeah.
but this clearly is like, this is classic physical comedy bit from Monk, and what we know. But now, like literally a couple of minutes later, Monk was on the verge of suicide. Talk about it. Also, this is very relatable. The pandemic had a lot of people struggle with their mental health. But talk about going darker in the movie and balancing that with the all the hijinks that fans are expecting from a movie, Monk movie.
Well, no one else I know of can do it like this guy can do that. That's what you're talking about, is threading a needle, and as far as acting goes. Even in that scene, he was doing 2 or 3 different things. He was pleading for his life. He was being given horrible news, and he was annoying this poor assistant next to him, trying to adjust chairs. And then we added in the next scene, that he was thinking about jumping out a window, and Tony makes it all relatable, and you never lose your compassion for the guy. It's just amazing to watch. Thank
you. I think it's a tribute, though, to the writing that Andy...
Everyone hear what he just said?
It bears repeating. It's a tribute to the writing. Andy first presented this idea of this dark place that Monk was in when he was pitching it to us. And, at first it sounded kind of risky, but then again, we all agreed too that we wanted to do something different. We wanted to raise the stakes. We did not want to just come back with episode 126. We wanted this to be more special. We wanted it to be kind of an event, the story, and we wanted the scale to be larger and the stakes to be higher. So
how high did you ever consider killing Monk off?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
Lord, no. Monk is, I can only speak for myself. Monk is my retirement plan. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but that's one I will never miss.
That is job security, right?
But in terms, did you want to say more about the going into the dark place and what you had to pull from?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is really what the whole movie hangs on, is this idea that Monk is basically he's giving up. He doesn't really work that much. The work was always his one thing that could get him out of the house, his lifeline, really. And lately, he just hasn't had that. And all of the people in his circle, his close compatriots, they've all kind of gone off into their lives. And Molly is there, but it's just, he's in a dark hole. And so, but when Andy pitched this, I can say this, right? About your,
Of course.
Andy pitched this as, because we had questions about the suicidal tendencies. He invoked the movie It's a Wonderful Life, which is a very, heartwarming, American classic, a life-affirming story, the premise of which is that a man is going to kill himself. So being the thief that he is...
No, it's true. All face thief.
Always steal from the best.
Yeah.
And Frank Capra, right?
Well, any writers out there, might do well to just steal from Frank Capra. It's always a good idea.
So when he framed it in those terms, it just made complete sense, because we knew ultimately that we were going to end up in a place of positivity and hope.
So is this where the ghosts came from? Because in the end, it's the ghost of Trudy, Monk's wife, who is helping him overcome those suicidal urges, along with the ghosts of all the victims whose murders he solved, plus some that are hoping he would. Talk about how is it walking through that field with all those victims, like Monk's greatest achievement?
Well, I can just tell you, just before Tony answers, when I wrote the scene, I got choked up and teared up, and then when I witnessed Tony and the cast performing it, I got choked up again. So it works for at least one guy, the writer. But how did you feel in that field?
Well, I felt it was quite, it was amazing and moving, of course, but mostly I was super grateful to, Peacock and NBC because, on the page, that was a really, really difficult thing to kind of picture and imagine because, Monk typically, when we did the series, we were kind of working on a bit of a lower budget compared to a lot of, procedural shows. I mean, we were basic cable and, we managed to do well with what we had. But
we had 2 car chases in 8 years.
Yeah. But that was good for us because we wanted, one of the things that I always fought for, was I wanted the show to be low tech when we were doing this series. But then when we read the script and we realized, wow, this has to be a big scene. It has to be a big place. It has to involve a number of different cameras. It has to involve a lot of background people. And that's costly. And so all that was factored in. The network, they just really supported us and stepped up and were willing to spend what was needed to make that work on a filmic, cinematic level.
It was pitch perfect, and I don't want to leave without mentioning Randy Ziz,
Right.
who just killed that scene.
As
Our director,
co-producer, director.
Yeah,
Also director on the series, yeah.
yeah, he's been our partner along with David Oberman from the beginning.
And it took 14 years and epidemic to get Mr. Monk's last case made.
And yet we look younger. Unbelievable. How does
So,
that work?
Well, this guy does.
what will it take for us to get Mr. Monk's very last?
The really no kidding. This is not the real last.
No kidding, this one really is the last case. We are hopeful, and if the fates allow, by fates I mean the suits at Peacock. We'd love to explore another chapter. We're doing our best for you.
What about Tony? Can you go back and revisit the character?
No freaking way. Of course, I mean, I would not, we don't know that that's a possibility, really. But I would not want to close that door. I'd like to stay open to the idea that, maybe there's something else down the pike.
Please do, because I speak for everyone. We really want to see how Monk starts picking up dog poop when he now walks
That's
his
right.
pup.
We left Monk with a beautiful dog. We can't say goodbye.
For everyone's sake, again, we have Andy BRECKMAN and Tony SHALHOUB.